How are we? These are the videos people told me that they liked. The raw chatting. So these are a couple of videos that we're going to continue doing. It is a Sunday evening at 8 o'clock and we're cooking dinner. And I'm going to give you a little bit of help along the way. Why not? You know, I'm going to be cooking the dinner anyway. It's like I said yesterday or the day before. I'm doing all these things anyway, so I might as well try and actually help a small little bit at the same time. So I'm having mince. Danny's going to have mince as well this evening. So I'll have my mince and spuds. Danny is going to have nachos. So I'm going to try and make some nachos somehow. We'll see. But I have mince and spuds to be having. And tonight I just wanted to talk about, you know, obviously me being on prep at the moment, as any of you will know if you've been watching for a while, but how to stay on point, like on the daily, you know what I mean, and not be going off track and getting back on track and just going around in a circle the whole time and not seeing consistent progress, because seeing consistent results is what keeps most people on track. You know, that's where the motivation really comes from. And I think why most people give up after those first few weeks when they don't see stuff happening straight away, you know. And it was the same for me starting out prep. I actually just went back earlier to look at where we were at the very start of prep, you know, a lot softer than we are now, you know. So things have been happening. And yeah, as you get more experience, as you've done it a couple of times, you start to understand those things. It can still play with your mind, but you have to go through those first couple of weeks where you don't see as much happening as you might like. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. That's just the way the physique happens. Now, again, everyone is completely different, but generally, that's the way things happen. You know what I mean? But we've got another little tip for you. I actually don't like cook anything myself on the pan really anymore, so I don't even use these 1 cal sprays. This is actually olive oil, you know. If you look at your 1 cal sprays, right, first of all, what is even inside them? Well, probably just normal stuff. But save you a little bit of money, right? I just, a couple of months back, decided to buy a bottle of olive oil, I think it was. And these bottles are very handy for squeezing. But every time this bottle runs out, just get the olive oil, fill it back up. Now, as I said, I'm using the air fryer for pretty much everything across the board. So the oil doesn't affect me, but macros I think are exact same, you know, and you're getting actual real olive oil instead of whatever shit is inside in these. Now, it is probably grand stuff, to be fair, but you know what I mean. I'm after turning on the wrong hob here to start us off. Trying to multitask doing this video and cook at the same time, lads. But again, first point I would say to you is you've decided to go into this phase, right? You've decided to go into this cut. Just don't be a pussy, man. Simple as, like, it's same for myself. Like, I do have the odd day where I'm like, why can't I just be a normal person? You know what I mean? And just eat normally when I have a day that I'm fucking tired or whatever the case might be. But then I have a good day where I'm feeling good. I'm like, yes, you know, I'm glad I'm doing this. You know, there's going to be so much going on in the head. It's all mental. You know, it's all the mental side of things that we're going to struggle with more than the physical. Like I say it multiple times, at the end of the day, if you're a bodybuilder or you're just trying to change the way you look, we're not actually doing anything that strenuous in terms of actual exercise. You know what I mean? Like, we're doing our training sessions every single week. We're doing cardio. We're doing our steps. And yeah, it does take a beating on the body, but look, I watch these other people who are just doing these marathons and doing these big sessions every single week, and that's what real, like, strenuous training would look like, to be honest. So you have to take a step back and kind of look and think, like, am I actually doing that much here at the end of the day? And realistically, we're not. You know what I mean? Yeah, as prep goes along, like, is it normal to be doing an hour, 2 hours of cardio every single day? Probably not, but it is what it is. Some people will get away with not doing that much cardio. Some people will have to do a lot. Like myself now, I'm doing 280 minutes. The sound of that mince cooking, lad. Danny's not going to need that much mince, I don't think. It's probably going to be enough left in this pack for me. But you're not actually doing that much cardio, you know what I mean? Hopefully the sound isn't broken up too much with all the cooking going on. Absolutely flat cooking here, lad. The only thing I'm thinking about is, I'm not too sure if there's any like meat or like nacho kind of sauce kind of shit that you'd use. You know what I mean? I have taco spice mix, and there's some kind of salsas from, you know, like those kits and stuff. What's this? Salsa. We'll give it a belt, lad. We'll give it a belt. Like, as I'm saying, there is some nights I'm thinking, Danny's having something, do you know what I mean? Like the Chinese there last week, and I'm like, lad. Do you know what I mean? And that's me whinging about that, like only a couple of weeks into prep, you know, we're 15 weeks out. There's no need to be whinging about that right now. But it is what it is. You know, like I chose to do this. It's a choice. Everything is a choice. So that's a big, big thing you need to just stop and think about. When you do have a day like, you know, a hard day or a hard couple of minutes, is just stop, take a deep breath, get back to it, lad. You know what I mean? There's probably going to be a lot of, oh, fuck me, lad. Oh, that seems spicy. There's probably going to be a lot of noise going on. Do you know what would be cool if I had like glasses that were a camera as well, so you could actually see POV or what I was doing? I think that would be fucking cool now. I see people on TikTok and stuff that use them nowadays. I know Snapchat have glasses as well. Cook my mince in the air fryer. I like it nice and charred. I like everything charred, to be fair. Now, mince is the last thing that I will cook, but I'll just get that in the air fryer and get it ready for action. I need 170 grams of mince myself. This is 5% mince we're using. I know there's 3% mince out there, but more expensive first and foremost, which fair enough, grand. It's not that much more expensive. I actually want a bit of fat from it at the same time. Like per 100 grams, we'll say you're getting, I think 21 grams of protein, maybe 5 grams of fat or something in these. 21.5 gram protein, 4.3 gram of fat. For 100 grams of 3% mince, yeah, you might get more protein, less fat, but my protein, I struggle to keep below the mark every single day. Not that I'm on the meal plan, but if I was to have the 3% mince, I wouldn't get to eat as much mince, and it fills up a nice bit of my fat for the day. Not a nice bit, like it fills up probably close to 10 grams of my fat per day, but you know what I mean. There's method to the madness for a lot of my stuff. 170 grams. And then on my mince, we'll let it marinate for a few minutes. I use the same as with the chicken. This would have been in the full day of eating that just went up. Smoky barbecue seasoning. Hopefully you're nice and bright over there as well. Again, just drizzle of this. This is the end of the packet. No, I'll get another serving out of that for my chicken tomorrow. But this is really good. Like, per quarter pack, like I'm using about a pack, I'm using about a pack a week, to be fair. In the whole pack, there's about 120 calories. 120 divided by 7. 720s or 104. Just say fucking 20 calories. Anyway, keep it consistent every single day, lad. No issues. So that goes in the small. My air fryer as well has one small kind of tray and then one big kind of square one. So that's perfect for the spuds. So the spuds will go in here. And as you know, my Maris Pipers, the only problem with the Maris Pipers every evening, whenever I'm cooking them, I'm sure we will get to a stage where I'm eating potato a couple times a day, but the rice, to be honest, like I find the rice perfectly filling right now. We need 300 grams tonight only. Last night was fucking 450 grams, lad. That's 336. One potato. See if we can get ourselves, it's like a bit, no, that's heavier again. 383. Oh my God, this content is fucking 290. 290 grams. And in a case like that, I get 290 grams. Just have a few extra berries on my creamy at the end of the day. I'm not going to waste and fucking... I mean, to be fair, I could cut off a bit of potato. It's not going to be the end of the world. But that's what I do. You know, I get 290 grams there. Bosh. No need to be stressing about it, lad. I think I'll see if this salsa shit is any good for Danielle. Next thing I'd be looking at is how I'm setting up my day, right? I know it's kind of like a, how do you mean when I'm setting up my day? Like I'm just going about my day, lad. But setting up your day to just make sure that it goes well to the end. Not just the first couple hours. You want to be thinking about the whole day. And one mistake I used to make was not eating all day long. And fellas would be online saying, eat earlier in the day and you'll notice more sustained energy first and foremost, which again I didn't give a shit about, and also less hunger at night, less cravings at night. Yeah, it's true, lad. It is 100% true. You know, the earlier I eat, obviously I'm still eating a lot of food, and to be fair, like the meal timings will be cut back. Again, with this whole bodybuilding and prep, it's a game of how successful you can be, you know, and how adherent you can be. But for me right now, with the amount of food I'm on, and a lot of people will be on very similar food, is just setting the day up where food is going in consistently throughout the day. And I am eating like a bodybuilder, where there's consistent protein feedings going in. Carbs are consistent. My carbs aren't just being kept to the end of the day. I'm not snacking on bullshit. I'm just having consistent meals throughout the entire day. 6 meals, as you would have saw in the last full day of eating, which is, you know, a lot of food, but it's perfect because I'm never eating anything huge that takes me hours to digest, and then I'm never going hours with being absolutely starving right now as well. And I want to keep that structure for as long as I possibly can because it works. And it's the first time I've ever did it since the gaining phase that I just came out of. Like with the diet that I was doing, it was just protein only. So like we were just getting a few protein feedings in across the day. But that was just that job that me and Keen did to get the fat off last year. Like now we're obviously prepping, you know what I mean? Like we need to, oh my God, my legs are battered from legs on Friday. We obviously need to, you know, be wary of that and keeping that in mind the whole time, you know? So just those small little things that can be stuff that we don't think about, but stuff that we should be taking into account. So we have, how many nachos would one woman eat? Probably a few, to be fair. We'll have to show you the finished product. It's like I'm at that stage in prep where like this doesn't faze me really, do you know what I mean? Give me another few weeks and I'll be fucking whinging at the side of it, lad. Nah, I'm only messing. I wouldn't really be a big cheese man, you know, just on the normal. Not a very big dairy man as a whole. You know, like milk and cheese and butter and just all that kind of shit. Give me a fucking cheeseburger now, lad, and I'd make shit of it. Cheese on a burger, absolutely. But cheese anywhere else, nah, it doesn't really bother me, do you know, that kind of way. I'm gonna chop up my potatoes. It's not that long since I had a meal myself, so I'm not that hungry. Again, another big tip I would say for you is don't, like, especially today I noticed we were out for a few hours, don't leave yourself go hours without a meal. Do you know what I mean? Or always go prepared. If you're going somewhere, just be prepared with a meal. Do you know what I mean? Make these nice and fucking cheesy now. I brought a meal with me today. If I didn't bring that meal, I'm going to be absolutely starving. Right? I'm going to be starting getting that little bit narky, like fucking, I'm fucking starving, fucking this, that and the other. And if you haven't got the willpower, what's going to happen is you're going to end up getting some shit out. Even if you think it's good, you're going to try and macro track that shit in. It's not going to work at the end of the day. It might, but you could have just prepared a meal. So preparation is a huge thing in terms of when we're dieting here. And same for someone who's trying to push up body weight, you know what I mean? Like being prepared, having a meal, not missing meals. Like it's one of the big things fellas struggle to keep food going in on a consistent basis, is just not being prepared, you know, not meal prepping. Very, very simple to meal prep, you know what I mean? Protein source, carb source, and then possibly a fat source, you know? Very, very simple, lad, and something that we don't need to stress about at all. I can turn this off now again. That was very, very easy. I'll show you what they look like. Hopefully you can see them. 2 pots of them, but surely she'll eat them, won't she? Again, for me, this prep, a big thing for me, this prep is making life easy for all of us. And not being like, making the house like a, you know, just a Debbie Downer of a place, which might sound fucking sad, but it's true, you know what I mean? Like, as prep goes along, you don't want to just be some fucking sad bastard, like, and that is the way it does go, like, do you know what I mean? As I get more and more lifeless, but it's important for me to try and not as much as I can. I am looking forward to summer though. Hopefully getting a little bit of summer at the end of prep to just enjoy summer, you know, that kind of way. But we'll see. We will see. I don't know what other kind of fucking tips I have for you now. I'm trying to think. I just decided to record on the fly. This video might never make it anywhere, to be fair, but why not record a little bit while I'm doing this, because I'm not doing anything else anyway. My steps are done for the day, 16,000, lad. My cardio is done for the day, 45 minutes. No training, just a rest day. So rest day food as well, which again isn't that bad, but tomorrow there will be a drop in food, 100%. 100%. Unless like I wake up at like fucking a kilo down from where I was today. I was actually my lowest again today, 84.3, which is 0.3 down from my lowest, which is nice, you know, very, very nice. We're doing chips here now tonight. I did chips last night as well, but I burnt most of them. I fucking burnt most of them. So I got the chips in there, and I do have seasoning for them as well, which is just paprika. Just paprika on top of the chips and a little bit of salt, to be fair. I'm the salt king. I don't know if there's many people that consume, yeah, there definitely is, but not a normal person anyway, consuming the amount of salt that I consume on a normal daily basis. Like I go through one of those pink Himalayan shaker yolks way too fast, but I've just come accustomed to it now. Like from someone who never used to eat fucking salt, like because I was feared salt. Do you know like fear and salt from making you puffy? But then I learned apparently it's the sugar when you binge that makes you puffy face and stuff like that. So what I would do is I'd have my binge and then I just cut. Obviously there'd be a lot of salt in the foods that I've eaten and sugar obviously. So I'd be blaming the salt and then I'd just fucking cut it out for the week. Load of water, like huge amounts of water down on top of it to try and like flush myself out and get that puffy face gone. Back into school on Monday, starve myself Monday to Friday, and then Friday, home from school, same fucking thing again, lad, rinse and repeat. Shocking. And it's one of the things that I'm trying to not let people do these days. Wow. That cheese is melting nice. I think we have, well, the salsa obviously here. Just a vicious, vicious cycle you do not ever want to find yourself in. I know there will be people on here who have, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Like it's just, it feels like something that's never ending. But yeah, in terms of dieting, back to dieting, again, it's just, like I said, setting the day up perfectly, ticking the boxes. Like a big thing for me is just taking it one day at a time, you know, like don't be thinking, fuck, I've got like 7 cardio sessions to do this week, I've got 5 training sessions to do, I'm going to be starving. Just think about today, you know what I mean? Just think about today and getting from the start of it to the end successfully. Boom, you nailed it. You ticked off your cardio, you did your steps, you did your training, you nailed your food. Do the exact same again tomorrow, lad. Not every day is going to be a great day. Not every day is going to go your way. grand. That's all part of it. You know what I mean? But do not be the man, do not be the woman who in 10 weeks' time looks the exact same, if not worse, and looks at the fella next to them or the girl next to them and thinks, they were in the same position as me 10 weeks ago, which is what I used to do, and now they're there because they fucking, oh Jesus, they stuck to the plan. You know what I mean? Top's going to have to come off here in a minute. I'm absolutely roasting. With the dinner, I do with this meal, the potatoes, the mince, I do peppers and onions. You would have seen in one of the videos the last few days, I use the chopped peppers and onions. And then I'm doing lettuce as well. Don't really like the broccoli with the potatoes and the mince. You know, I want like it's kind of like a burger bowl, you could say. This meal is just no burger bun, no burgers. Smash burger now or something would be nice, and a garlic bacon cheese chip. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. We'll have the creamy then later on. I must also show you next couple of days how I make my creamies. I know you've seen it in all the oaks, but it's well worth the money. I think it's about €200 for a creamy. Very, very worth it if you're pushing on in a diet, you know, which I will be as the next couple of months go along. They're the main contenders in terms of just executing the diet. Obviously, we can look further into it and being like, are you on the correct plan? Are you on the correct setup? You probably will be, you know what I mean? You know, in terms of how many calories you should be eating, knowing I'm eating too many calories right now, I need to pull my calories down. Sometimes I think it is a case of maybe not doing as much as you probably should be doing in terms of like cardio, steps. You know, I'm 15 weeks out, I'm doing 45 minutes cardio nearly every day. 30 minutes 2 days a week, and then 45 minutes 5 days a week. I'm doing 16,000 steps every single day. Granted, my food is pretty much 2.6 and 2.350 or something like that, which is, you know, in a good spot for me, and condition is starting to come in, but I want to be in a very good spot 12 weeks out, you know what I mean? Previous diets I would have started, never really, well, the first photo shoot I did was probably 15 weeks of a photo shoot prep, and you know, I wasn't in a good spot at the start of the prep, you know, I was fat as fuck. But that was 15 weeks. I got shredded at the same time. So like a lot of you will have that time frame of like 16 weeks or 20 weeks. Some of you maybe more, some of you maybe less. You might have a holiday booked and stuff. You need to understand that if you know, majority of those days aren't absolutely bang on, you're going to fall short, you know what I mean? Unless you're going aggressive from day one and you're making changes as you need to. Like, don't spend too long on one setup if it's not going as fast as you want. Like, drop food a little bit more, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you might get a little bit more hungry, but things will happen quicker. Add in more cardio. There's nothing wrong with doing a load of fucking cardio either, you know, that kind of way. Like, don't fear it. And we do have the time there to do it, like, realistically. Like, I deal with people on a daily basis, you know, where I'm being told I can't do this and I can't do that. Lad, we're only on round one here, you know what I mean? Like, we need to fit this in, you know, like, you need to get your priorities in order. A big problem, I spoke about this the other day, is having our priorities in line with our expectations. You know, the expectations of what way we're going to look come summertime. Our priorities need to be in line with that, you know, that kind of way, and actually being like, okay, this needs to be a fucking priority here. Not just, I'm going to be in shape in May or June. Like, this is what I'm going to do to be in shape in June. You know, that kind of way? Like, that's a big problem where people are missing, a big gap that people aren't thinking about. And another one, if you're having your, you know, cheat meals, off-plan meals and stuff, big problem as well, to be completely honest with you. To be completely honest with you. And the reason for that being is, you know, we're in a deficit, right? We're in a controlled deficit, meant to be 7 days a week for us to get the outcome that we want, whether that's losing a kilo of fat every week, losing a percentage of our body weight every single week, whatever it might be. We put in that cheat meal, like, people put in that cheat meal, they cheat the diet, they fall off track for one day, and they don't think it's a biggie, you know, and they, again, for the average person, it's not, okay? It might just put an extra week on the plan, a week for you to have to continue fat loss. But if you're doing that consistently, it's when it's really going to start slowing things down. And when things really start slowing down is when you're going to start, shit. Nice, lad. Nice. Fucking. Don't know why the oven does that, but it's like burns the fucking eyes when you open it. There's obviously some problem in here. Let them cool down for a minute. Don't want to burn the countertop either. But that is an issue I do see. Like, have the diet set up sustainably, where you don't feel the need to be eating off plan on a weekly basis. You know what I mean? And you will see a lot more. Lad, I hope I wasn't talking for fucking half an hour. The camera cut off on me. Anyway, dinner served up to the boss. Danny. I'll throw mine on in a minute. Where was I? Just saying, like, look, I know you might look at your plan that you're currently on and think this isn't sustainable. A lot of the time I think it's just embracing the suck and understanding this is what it takes for me to lose body weight, and understanding probably with the position you might be in at the moment, you know, it didn't take you 8 weeks to get to that position. Don't expect it to only take 8 weeks to get out of that position. And I know you're hearing everyone telling you, like, 8 weeks to get this and 8 weeks to get that. It's only going to take you 8 weeks and stuff. I'll tell you straight on here, it's probably going to take you a bit longer than that, you know what I mean? So it's just set yourself realistic expectations, realistic goals, and have your priorities in line with them. You know what I mean? It's the exact same with myself. You know, I have big goals for the year, and the expectation of myself to do what I want to do. Obviously getting fucking shredded to the bone, you know what I mean? And my day-to-day goings need to be in line with that, you know? But we're going to cook the dinner. I'll throw the air fryer on. It's very handy, you know, just everything in the air fryer, bash. I'm going to go for a shower. Steps and everything wrapped up. Tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day. And it's also, so it's bank holiday, St. Patrick's Day. Bank holiday weekend. And I'm fucking filming this, lad, but it is what it is, you know what I mean? Like, I've chosen to do this. Everything's a choice at the end of the day, and that's another big point for you. It's a choice. Everything we do is a choice, you know? Like, just don't think you can get away with so many bad choices if you're trying to, you know, go in the direction that you want to be going, because you won't. Enjoy your Paddy's weekend. This will be going out at some point. If it does, I'll be having check-ins as normal tomorrow. Monday's my busiest day with check-ins. We'll see who checks in and who doesn't check in, lad. And we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. I hope you're having a lovely, lovely dinner. And again, boys and girls, whoever's on the cut, stick at it, because it will be worth it. 12 weeks time, 8 weeks time, whatever point you might be at, it will be fucking worth it. And we're all going to be chatting, get some community going, and we'll all be in a position that we're delighted with and very, very happy with, because we stuck it out. And if there is any questions that you have, any help that you want to go through, there is a couple of questions there that I've had in videos recently, comments that I do want to go through. Forgot about going through one or two there that I had in my head there this evening, but I won't keep you any longer. As always, drop the video a like, subscribe if you haven't already. We're chasing down 1,000, and whoever is a part of the first 1,000, I fucking appreciate you, because 1,000 is that first stepping stone, you know, and I want to work hard to get there, and that's what I'm trying to do. So if you're not in the beer tonight, lad, I'll cheers you to a Coke Zero, ice cold, out the fridge. Enjoy, lad. How many people like tuning into these that I might even know, thinking, fuck is wrong with this fella?